Bizmentum, online business networking, reimagined.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so most of us have put a ton of money into money, time, effort, and everything else into our websites, right? Because, that's where everybody's going to come to find out more about us. That's where they're coming. That's what they all told us we should do. So we all spend this money on website design, and all that work. And then suddenly what happens is something like this. This is a Facebook page. It's a local group in my local community. I'm in the community of Spruce Grove, which has only about 37,000 people in our area, in our city. But this particular chat group, Spruce Grove, Stony Plain, and Parkland area, has 18,800 members. And then you go and look at this Facebook group and say, well, what are people posting about? Well, this person's promoting their day home service, with a link to their Facebook page, which of course, will have information there about them. And, their website's listed here, but it's not the main focus. It's, people are getting their information right from their Facebook page. We scroll down a bit more. What's happening here? Does anyone know of anybody hiring restaurants, hiring servers for restaurants, RV storage available? Someone promoting a Edmonton small business moms, to build that group there. Somebody's looking for a reputable company that does tree and shrub mulching. And suddenly you can see that, oh, wait, there's a lot of money being spent on social, a lot of connections being done on social. And it's got nothing to do with my website, because my website might just be one little link on my social. And it's interesting too, because here's an example of, this is a local restaurant that I've heard good things about that I haven't been to yet. So this is their website, and it's a professional website there, but this is their Facebook page. And the cool thing about a Facebook page is whenever they post something new, it shows up in their people's social feed. So people don't have to go to the website to find it out. They're being served all the information, the pictures of these burgers, the pictures of all this food that makes me hungry. All these are being served up right within my Facebook feed. So socials become very important, and most of us are not really paying attention to our social profiles that much. I mean, we just kind of fill them out and we don't really spend much time. So I wanted to show how important that is, first off, that we pay more attention to our social profiles, because they're probably getting a lot more traffic than what we think. So let's talk about LinkedIn, because it's the elephant in the room. LinkedIn's the big one that everybody's used for years. So when most of us started filling out a profile on LinkedIn, it kind of reminded us of a resume. So we focused on this part way down here, our experience. So here's Amy Porterfield, who's a well-known internet marketer, one of the ones I follow. And here's, where she talks about her experience. But you notice that's not up top. Okay, so most of us are really focusing on getting our experience, our education, and everything else on our LinkedIn profile. But this first part here, before we scroll down, is our prime real estate. This is where we can engage people right in this area. So how do we engage people right in here? How do we get people to do something? So let's look at what some of these masters are doing. Let's look at what Amy Porterfield's doing right in her LinkedIn. Oh, wait, look, right in the beginning, her header is a free live master class, 5 little known mistakes most course creators make and what to do instead, and has a link where you can save your seat. So right away, she's asking you to connect with her, to follow with her, to sign up for something with her. And she's doing that right in this very top part. Down here, she says, what does she do? CEO Amy Porterfield, podcast, online marketing made easy, creator of this. So it's showing you immediately what she's doing and what she's creating. A little bit of the about. I help entrepreneurs build businesses online. My area of expertise is, and some of her featured activities that show up here right away. So that's an example of what can be done when you know what you're doing. If we go to her Facebook page, you'll see exactly the same thing. She's again getting people there right away to pull them into there. And then, of course, as you scroll down, you see her posts where she can connect with people. She does videos, where she chats live with people. 3 mindset shifts every course creator must make. Doing Facebook Live on a digital course, etc. So you see what's happening here is it's not passive anymore. We're not waiting for people to come to us. People are finding us through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through Bizmentum, through Reddit, through all these different social media places. And she's using a strong call to action right here. So let's look at what happens in maybe somewhere like Bizmentum. So in Bizmentum, if you go here, and again, it's a discussion area. It's got things going on very much like Facebook does. So we see that Julie Williams has just posted, oh, I'm about to start a blog on my new website. Does anybody have any advice? I've never done one before. I'm thinking I'd do it weekly. Now, the cool thing here is now you can engage with Julie. You can make a connection with Julie without spamming her. Okay. So usually if you were to go to Amy Porterfield right now and say, Amy, I think I can do better copywriting for you, or I think your audio work is bad. I could do better audio editing for you, or I could do better video editing for you, or whatever service you offer. It's kind of a cold call, right? Like it's kind of you're hitting her out of the blue and she's probably hit with lots of people. But here's somebody asking for help. So what kind of advice could you give Julie? And you see a number of people have chimed in already. Now, here's the other cool thing is what do we know about Julie? What do we know? How could we help her? Years ago, I read a book called Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. It was by Harvey Mackay, who is the chief executive officer of a large mail envelope and stationery company. And he was the first to admit that it was a mature industry, that if his company did some great innovation in stationery or envelopes, all the competitors would copy it right away. So there was really no real benefit with dealing with any one company over the other. But what he did was he had what he called the Mackay 66-point profile that he made each of his sales reps fill out before they would reach out to connect with a large company to fill all their stationery needs. So they had to find out 66 points about this person, where they went to college, what sports teams they followed, what their hobbies and interests were, do they have a family? Because he felt if you knew more about that person, you could build a relationship. So what do we know about Julie? Well, let's open up her profile. So here's Julie's profile on Bizmentum. And so what we can see is Julie's a community leader at Bizmentum, and she's a professional voiceover talent, specializes in e-learning, explainers, commercial, web content, med, and tech narration. So this tells us a lot about her right there in just this very first paragraph. If you've got any connections to people in the med and tech industry who might need someone to narrate, and she's got expertise in that, that would be a good way to reach out to her, with these kinds of things. You can see how active she is. You can see all of her activity. Wow. Let's go and look here. So from her profile, we can see everything she's posted on Bizmentum, all the questions she's had, all the people she's commented with. Here's another one she's posted about using Calendly. So you can see from her profile what her activity's been, what she's doing, and it gives you more ways to interact with her. Down here, she's got her personal links and she's got her voiceovers and things like that. So overall, Julie's done a fairly good profile here. One of the things I would suggest is she might want to do something like what Amy Porterfield's done. She might want to have a more professional header done up here. So you see Amy Porterfield in both her LinkedIn page, she's got a header up here, and on her Facebook page, she's got a similar header that she's built things right into the header. So this is the benefit of social media, is to arrange to have a header professionally designed. Julie's got a good picture. It looks lots of color. I like the interactivity there of her background and things like that. So it looks like it's a professional shot, and it's got a very interesting background there. Also in here, Julie's got her personal links and things like that. She's done voiceovers for some of the top companies in the world. May have heard me recently in a Spectrum TV spot. This is her credibility. So why is it credible? Why is she credible? Why should you deal with her? She's also worked for Google, Spectrum, Pizza Hut. Plantronics, Cisco, US Army, Pampers. So these are some of the things that she's done there. So there's the credibility built in. Passions, Jesus, dancing, cycling, dogs. So it gives you other ways to open, to connect with her. If you are also religious, you could connect with her that way. You can find out what kind of dancing she's interested in. You can talk dogs with her, cycling. So there's lots of different ways to reach out to her here. So as you can see, Julie's done a good job here already. We can see more ways to connect with her. So let's go through Amy Porterfield's a bit more again. So you can see Amy's got her master classes here, free PDF downloads. So it's a lot of her blog posts here. Activity, once again, we can see what Amy's posting about, so we can connect with her. We can see her experience. So we may, if we ever worked for a similar company, we can say, oh, were you there while I was there? We can see education. So if we went to the same university as her, another way to connect with her. Endorsements, recommendations. So again, recommendations provide credibility here as well. And some of her interests and some of the places she follows. So again, if you wanted to reach out to Julie or Amy Porterfield, there's a lot of information here on how to do that. Let's look at Tony Robbins, another well-known speaker. Unleash the Power Within. He's got an event coming up in November. So his focus on his header here is to, promote that. New York, so credibility, New York Times, best-selling author, life and business strategist. So he's got that there. And again, his activities showing, information about, how he does breakthrough, what he's done, his experience, and again, recommendations here. And let's look at Tony Robbins' Facebook, and you see he's got a consistent approach, what he's doing here, entrepreneur, number one New York Times bestseller. So these people are putting a lot of money into their social media pages as well as their websites. And it makes sense if you think about it. Social media is where people are often finding these people, not necessarily their website. Unless you already know about their website, you're not going to find them. Simon Sinek, same thing. He's promoting his podcast here. So his podcast is a bit of optimism. So the idea is if you're following his podcast, then he can promote anything, any upcoming events, anything else he's doing in his podcast. He's got, Start With Why, his books, different things, recently posted videos, etc. We go to his Facebook page. Once again, he's done the same thing. Marie Forleo, again, number one, New York Times bestselling author. Everything is figure-outable. And she speaks to you. The world needs that special gift only you have. And her activities again. So these are all, all quite similar, and you can see how they're using these. So how do you do this for yourself? Let's look at a few more here. Megan on Bizmentum. So voiceover actor and coach, and she's got information about what she does. And again, links to her Instagram and these kinds of links and things. So how do you do this? So to create a professional looking top area, a banner, essentially, banner, header, whatever you want to call it, you can reach out to a graphic designer. I would reach out to a professional graphic designer. We have several on Bizmentum. If you go to Bizmentum and you go to the skills base, you'll find there's an area here for graphic designers, and voiceover artists and web designers. There's tons of people here. So you can go to look for graphic designers here, and you should be able to find under, I think, the web design section, internet, graphic design. You should be able to find graphic designers here. And you can reach out and have them do that. If you'd like to do your own, you can use a tool such as Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is a great tool that will let you create your own Facebook post, graphic, or presentations, slideshows, and they've got all the custom sizes there. And you can see here's a few that I've done. This is the titles that I do for my YouTube videos. These are the member spotlight videos that I do for Bizmentum. Here's a header I did for Bizmentum, tips, and so on. So you can easily create these there. When you're going to create one, let's go view all. So do you want a social graphic? Do you want a Facebook cover? So here's a Facebook cover. If we create that, click on that one. And you can see it's given you one there, but you can also start from a template. Oops, wrong one. That was a premium. There we go. So we can change the fonts. We can change the look of it. Some of them are premium, of course, and so on. So you can easily change these. We can change the background title by going photos, and then we can go find free photos here. Search for top. Let's go business. Oops, didn't replace it, I guess. Sorry, just move a few of these out of the way so we can do them. So once you've got the text here, it's very easy to change the style of it. You can change the font and colors and all these kinds of things to replace the image. Again, we go find free photos. And you can see in just a few seconds, I can easily set up, something here that would be a header or for a blog post or any of these kinds of things. So these are, it's just ways to be able to create that. Again, I highly recommend working with a professional graphic designer because you'll get a great result if you find the right ones. But this is just a way to do something very quickly for that. So questions about social media profiles from either of you?
Yeah, so I was wondering, can you do the same thing on Adobe Spark as you can on like Canva or Luca?
Yes, Canva is another one, also great. So it's another great tool. Canva, if we look it up here, I don't think I actively use it, so I may not have an account there. Canva is a great one. So there's lots of these really easy design tools that you can use that make it really easy to set up these kinds of things. So it's a great way to do it. Also, I highly recommend that your picture be a professional picture that you have done here now, so because that really makes a difference when you're doing this. Either a professional picture or a picture that at least shows what you do. For example, a picture of you out kayaking may not be appropriate if you're a business consultant, but if you are a professional tour company that takes people kayaking, a picture of you out kayaking is a great idea. For my own profile here, you see I do have a header up top. I've done the graphic, the steampunk hat and the steampunk clock in there because I'm known as Captain Time. And right here, my main focus here is as a founder of Bizmentum, even though I am Captain Time and I'm usually a time management author, speaker, and coach. But for Bizmentum, I want people to see right away that I am the founder so that they would know they'd reached the person that they, in charge that they should be talking to here. So.
I have a question about Spark.
Yeah.
So from there, once you've created it, do you have to post it directly to something or can you download it? And
yeah. So when I click on download here, you have a choice of PNG, JPEG, or PDF.
Are they layers or are they all merged together?
It's all merged together. So this isn't the replacement for Photoshop. This is for people who find Photoshop too intimidating or can't afford the Photoshop and are not working in layers. But it's still here edited. So even if I download it, my original's still here. So I can change it by just clicking on any of these, and then I can go ahead and and make any of these changes. And if you want a new project, if we go back to projects and we go, home, let's go. So they've got a ton of templates to start with. So, I mean, like here's a really great one if you want to just start with a template. And you can easily just swap that out with your own picture. So this would be, if you were somebody who was a fitness instructor or something, you could easily just swap this out with your own background picture of you doing this, and you're all done. So.
Sort of a related question. If you were going to go from one platform to another, so like from Facebook to LinkedIn, their banner sizes and requirements are sometimes different. Can you swap those dimensions within your created graphic, or do you have to start from scratch?
No, you can swap them within the creative graphic. Sometimes it would need a change or something though.
Sure.
If we just go to, let's see, that's edit image. Design, here we go, or resize, my mistake. So resize lets you choose again from, all these different ones. Is it Instagram story, Instagram portrait? Is it a Facebook post, Pinterest, YouTube, etc.? Or you can just choose a custom. So, and most places will tell you the custom. So then if I want to change this, okay, it's currently 1280 by 720. Let's say I want 1440 by, I don't know, 1280, and I go done, then it will change that and automatically change everything with it. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
it's even doing some animation now, and I haven't played with that yet, but you could do some, you could do a little bit of animation there, get yourself in. So. Yeah, it's a great tool, and Canva's good too. So don't get me wrong. It wasn't that I'm saying that, Adobe Spark's so much better than Canva. Adobe Spark just happens to be the one I use. So, and I've looked at Canva a few times, but just because I'm more familiar with Spark, I tend to use it. So, and either one is fine for this. Colors you can change to, you can change the color layouts that easily. So.
Yeah, I haven't explored with Canva yet, but I thought maybe they could do that too. But looking at Spark, it seems like it'd almost be easier. And there's a lot of good templates, and it seems awesome.
Yeah, well, and so, for example, I was showing you, so this is my title screens that I use for YouTube. So all I do each time is I just replace I use the same format each time. I just replace the title of whatever my YouTube video is, change the picture here, sometimes I change the icon, and then I just change the background color. And that means that all my YouTube has good looking titles. So if we go to my YouTube channel, of course, whenever you call up your YouTube channel, you show all your YouTube stuff. You show all your different what you like on YouTube, so people say, oh, why is he looking at that kind of garbage?
You can actually change that.
Yeah. So anyways, here's, you can see here's all my different titles I've done, right? So it looks quite striking with the different colors. And then I can get a different one. So for member spotlight, my member spotlight videos that I'm doing on Bizmentum, I created, again, these are all created in Spark. So. And it's really fast to do one of these now. I can do a new one, for whatever my title is really quickly. So, man,
your UpNote review blew up.
Oh my goodness. It's interesting. The tool reviews, and this is a tip that has nothing to do with social, except that it is using social media, of course, right? But yes, my UpNote review is 1.5. That's not my biggest. If we go, let's see, where's my biggest ones? Popular uploads, 56,000 views on my time blocking template using Notion. So,
wow.
So anybody who thinks YouTube's a waste of time, look at these kinds of views. And I'm by not the most popular person on YouTube by any means, but some of my 9.1 thousand views here, 6.2 there, 5.6, 4.3, 3.3 on something on how to mind map a book. And that's got 3,300 views, right?
So all of those, you just you use that photo and you put it on your YouTube video instead of just having it pick a random spot in your video.
Yeah. So what I find is it's kind of annoying because when I do a PowerPoint presentation, like say this one, okay, so this is just done with a PowerPoint, the study time tips. I had to export my screenshot. So I had to export my first slide and then upload as a thumbnail because for some reason YouTube never takes the first screen of my PowerPoint presentations as the title. It's really annoying, right? So that's why I do this now. I upload these always as my thumbnail. So.
For some reason, I know YouTube used to pick whatever frame was exactly in the center of your video. And why they thought that might be good, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's really kind of useless. When you let it choose the frames, right? Like it's I try to, but I mean these ones aren't bad, the ones from Notion, because it is all within, and chances are I spend a lot of time in that screen anyway, so the screen it's showing isn't bad. but in some things it's totally inappropriate. Like if I, I think my reducing distractions one's a good example of this, of where they've chosen a bad, yeah, here we go. So this is my reducing distractions video. And you can see they've chosen my benefits for employers as the thumbnail, which is probably about my third or fourth screen in. So that's really a bad one. And so these were some that were done a few years ago before I was doing the title. Same thing here, work-life balance has probably my third or fourth screen in instead of the title. So I really like the titles. The titles look so much better, I think.
Well, I feel like they're good for like marketing purposes because I mean, the picture is what draws a lot of people in.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can control this way what you're showing, whereas the thumbnail doesn't. I mean, you can choose from different points in it, but yeah, the thumbnails are, it's kind of a waste. And so it looks so much better there when you're doing that. And again, so easy to do in Adobe Spark. And as I say, the templates are just tons of these different templates there. Like if we scroll through them, like if you want to go back to the 60s, okay, here we are. Some of these are premium. Of course, they have to have a way to make money, right? But there's tons of free ones. So the premium ones are the ones with the little badge on them here, but there's still a lot of really good, non-premium ones. And you can also, if we go explore all templates, it might let you filter as well. I don't know, but no. But you see, there's like just so many different ones here too.
So the premium ones, I'm guessing you had to subscribe for a paid subscription. You can't just buy them separately.
Yeah. So Adobe Spark, of course, as with all of these, has a make an impression upgrade. Let's see how much it is. And so for an individual, buy now monthly plan, $12.99 a month. So $12.99 a month, and they give you a free month. It looks like 14 days free, or annually you can pay $132.
I was wondering if it's like some of the other Adobe products where if you buy or subscribe to the Creative Cloud, it's included. Is this part of the Creative Cloud subscription, or is it?
That's a really good question, and I'm not sure. And I haven't used Creative Cloud in a while because I found I had other software I was able to use for that. But let's just have a look here. I don't think it was when I checked. I think Creative Cloud was more the photo editing one, and
well, it's got photo, audio, video editing,
Acrobat, Premiere Pro,
Illustrator, all kinds of things.
InDesign, Lightroom. Yeah, see, it's Lightroom, InDesign, After Effects, XD, Premiere Pro. So Spark separate. So it's not part of it, unfortunately.
Actually, if you go up to browse all apps, to your right.
Okay, yep.
There you go. Then I think that's where it shows you where all of your.
Okay, yeah, Bridge, Brush Dimension. No, I don't see it there. Media Encoder.
Nope.
Substance 3D in copy. No, I don't see it. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, because I would have thought that. Yeah, because it's really a lower end thing, just for people who want to make these things easily. And the starter plan is really quite good. I mean, I've been using the starter plan for quite a while. So, but if you're using it a lot, it can make sense to upgrade. And I never mind upgrading for a tool I use a lot. It's although sometimes it can get expensive when it's per team member, per whatever. Sometimes that's kind of annoying. So you notice that, so the call to action is one of the main things I talk about. So call to action is one of the big things here with the social media profiles. The other one is credibility, working in some credibility elements in there. We saw, how Julie is her credibility, some of her credibility things, clients she's worked with, some of those kinds of things. You see it with Amy Porterfield, her podcast and some of the things she's done, the testimonials from people. Seen it with Tony Robbins, #1, New York bestseller. And they don't, we're not all going to have a #1 New York Times bestseller, right? So we have to come up with our own credibility options. But, in my case, I've been quoted as an expert in the Washington Post, so I could include something like that. So there's ways you can find credibility elements for that. Or if you ran a very successful marketing campaign, include that I tripled this client's business or did this. So. Any questions about other social media? I only really showed Facebook, LinkedIn, and Bizmentum here, but Reddit's another one I get a lot of business from. So there's tons of others as well. So,
how do you get business from Reddit?
So with Reddit, the main trick there is to focus on connecting with people. So first off, I do have a profile on Reddit, of course, because you want a profile wherever you go. So you want to make sure. So here, author of Stop Wasting Time and Procrastination in 5 Weeks, founder of Bizmentum, time manager, speaker, and coach, and a link to my YouTube. So they don't give you much of a profile to work with here, but I have tried to work that kind of thing in. Looks like I should put a professional backdrop up there as well, which I haven't done yet. So if we go to my Reddit to see what's going on here, and I'll just show you the business ones, not the fun ones, because I also do some fun ones like air fryer and cooking and, and books. But here's an example. Here's a subreddit on productivity. So of course, I'm Captain Time. I teach people about productivity. So what I do here is I look for people I think I might be able to help or do things with. First one here, 25. Female, stay-at-home fiance, unproductive, guilty, then depressed and less productive. How do I stop? That would be one that I would open in a new tab, and I could probably write something in there to help. So what's an example here? So I could say something like, here is a video I put together on how to work when you aren't in the mood. That might help. Then what I can do is I can go back to my YouTube, back to my channel. And again, I should probably automate this one with, search for mood. And nope, wrong one. Time is more. Oh, sorry, searched all of YouTube instead. There it is. Okay. Okay, how to work when you aren't in the mood. And let's go share that one. And then I can go back to, I usually don't have that many tabs open when I do this. Time management tip. Don't have all these tabs open when you're doing this kind of stuff, right? Because I pick on my my clients about that. So I've really done nothing else there other than just commenting on that. Now, the cool thing is not only this person sees it, but everybody else who's reading this thread will see that and might click on it. So this is how I get some of my videos to have those many thousands of views. So let's look at another one here. I probably wouldn't reply to this one, tip, don't schedule every part of your day, because this is somebody else giving tips, okay? How do I find what I love to do? I have some good ideas on that, and there's probably some things I could do there. How much time should I spend learning a skill? I might be able to help there. Smartphone diet, that one's capitalized. He's probably not looking for help. He's, let's see. Yeah, this one I could help with, and I have a video as well on how to reduce your screen time, which would work for this. So as you can see, I develop a lot of my content so that I have these to help with. So a lot of my content ideas come from from these kinds of questions. I go, well, gee, that's a good question. How come I don't have an article on this yet, or how come I don't have a video on this yet? So usually within a week, I'll go ahead and create an article or a video on that, and then I'll go ahead and I have that to do this. So I've got a really wide range on my YouTube channel. If we go to to my channel, I've got a very wide range of topics that I've created stuff for. If someone asks, what's a good note-taking program? What's a good task management program? How do I stay productive with social media? How do I work with a virtual assistant? I've got something for that. And it seems like a lot of work, but these work for me for years to come. I created a video for one client that's got over 150,000 views, but the article we also did for that video is still giving that client 1,500 visits to their website every month, 4 or 5 years later.
Wow.
So evergreen content, I call it evergreen because it's content that doesn't expire. So some content expires. Like if I were to do a video today about my picks for the Canadian election, which is happening today, I go to the polls today. That's not evergreen content because that's going to be kind of useless after today. And then I can see if I'm psychic or not after today. You know, if I manage to pick the exact number of seats each party won. But evergreen content, you know, like is screen time causing you to fail? You know, working with virtual assistants, these tend to be evergreen. This is something that, you know, study time tips for students. People can use those for years to come. So that's how I get business from Reddit. I find websites relating to those topics. Sorry, subreddits they're called. So the group areas, and you can see there's tons. There's probably 4 or 5 in here a day I can reply to. If I go back to the main area of Reddit, there's also a small business forum that I often spend time in, a virtual assistant forum I spend time in. Sometimes technology, I get the odd post there, not usually. CRM, you know, people asking about customer relationship management tools. So, you know, you just go looking for these and find them. And some are not that active. Like, you know, there's some I've gone into and they haven't had a post in the year. Well, then you don't bother following those ones. But other ones, let's see. There's not a lot of other ones I get business from. I get a lot of business from Reddit. I get business from Facebook. I get business from Bizmentum, of course. LinkedIn, not so much anymore. I used to get lots off LinkedIn, but I don't get much of that anymore. Lunch Club. Are you both familiar with Lunch Club?
Yes, I met you there.
Right. Okay, great. Yeah, Lunch Club's awesome. I like that one. Jay, have you looked at
No,
Lunch
I've
Club?
heard of it, but I've not ever visited.
Yeah, well, let's go to Lunch Club. So the cool thing about Lunch Club is that Lunch Club, you sign up for it, and then what you can do is you then choose some openings that you have, and Lunch Club uses AI to match you with people, and you sit down and you have like a 45-minute voice chat, like a voice and video chat.
I see.
So I usually use about 2 or 3 a week, and I meet 2 or 3 people a week, many of whom have joined Bizmentum. So it's been a great area to work with Bizmentum. So it lacks some of the things I like about what I created in Bizmentum. It lacks sort of ways to easily follow up with people. It doesn't have any of its own discussion areas. It's just you meet people live. That's all you do. But it's very useful for that purpose. So. And these are some of the people I've, let's see, no, those aren't the people I've connected with. Let's see here. Home. Oh, and they ask you questions. So is this someone like you might like to meet? And then you can choose yes or no. So this is how they will help you decide who you should meet. So if you think, you know, certain people should get together, would you like to meet this person? So you go through that, answer questions. And then after each meeting, it also asks you to rate your meetings. So you can see how good that works. Let's see. Yeah, so it's been a good tool. I quite like it. It works very well for me. So, and other than that, like a lot of other social media is not that useful for me. I showed you how good a local social media can be, like for local people. The guy who's a plumber who actively posts in here and loves to follow the weather. Everybody always asks him what the weather is. He gets so many referrals from here. I mean, his entire marketing campaign is probably just Facebook groups because he gets so much business from this.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I tried LinkedIn to send like cold email pitches,
Right.
and nobody ever responds. And also,
Yeah.
like, if you don't really know them, there's like, you can only send like one message to them.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, well, I tried Facebook and I sent a few, like 3 or 4 of them, and I got one response, which was really cool.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I'm interested. I'm like, oh man, I got to start using Facebook more often than LinkedIn, which is weird, but it works.
Yeah, and it also depends on what people are looking for, right? So let's and I should never do this because you should never search for anything that you don't know what the answer is going to be. This is an important rule when you're doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, so just looking here, there is a copywriting jobs group. I haven't looked there yet, so I have no idea how good it is. Ladies copywriting, looking for an English copywriter. So here's an example. Someone here is looking for one. So if you look in some of these groups, you may be able to get things this way. And the fact that English is your first language is a main benefit when you're doing this kind of thing. So here's some examples. So you could be researching this and looking for these kinds of things. So another trick too is to do social listening. So this is a bit of social listening. Okay, here is that I've just done a search through Facebook for that keyword, that social listening, and there's tools out there for it, and I'm playing with Nimble right now. Nimble's not a social listening tool. Nimble is a customer relationship management tool, but they have something called Signals that I'm currently playing with to see if I can make it work for that. So if we were to search for copywriter in search Signals by keyword rather than searching by messages or contacts. So I search contacts, I'll probably find you because you're in my contact. So these are posts that have the word copywriter in it. Okay. So here's an example of this person has posted, we're looking, so if we click on this, let's see, that's just a link there. I'm trying to click on just the link he's posted there. No, let's go reply. Okay, here we go. And then I want to call up the actual post to make sure, see what it is. Yeah, so here's someone looking to hire a copywriter, content marketing manager, and this kind of stuff. They've got open positions, and this was posted quite recently. So here's an example where I could reply to that right here from within Nimble.
So is Nimble a premier service?
It is a premier service, and it's one I'm currently testing for myself. You can see I've got 6 days left in my trial, but to be honest, it's a winner. I'm going to be upgrading when I do it. I was using HubSpot CRM, but I really like the fact that it's got this kind of an integration with some of the social media, not all, it's with Twitter and Facebook, but this is you can see how powerful this tool would be, that we could look right, we could do those kinds of searches to find out what could be looked for. So another thing I was going to do is I was going to go in here and I was going to start looking for people who and you got to remember to search Signals, not searching everything. I was going to do some research around what are people looking for around LinkedIn. Can I come in and help? And then suggest they go to a friendlier place like Bizmentum instead. So, but I have to do some research on that to see what I can do there. So that's an example. From the contacts perspective, let's look here. So for example, if I want to see Liam is somebody I've recently been in contact with. So the cool thing here is it brings in all the emails. Like he wants me to speak at a goal setting event. They're going to run in December. So it brings in, so this is Liam Hughes. He's the founder at Bigger Plate, which is a membership website for mind mapping. And it also will find his LinkedIn and other profiles, and then I can check and see if they're his. I can say, yes, they're his. And then that means that it will add more information there as well. So
that's a pretty neat tool.
It is. And another thing I love about it is the tagging. Okay. So I can add tagging here, such as mind mapping, or if he was a member of Bizmentum, I could put that in there. I could put speaking gigs. So he might have speaking gigs for me. So that's an example of where I can create these on the fly. And then if I want to then look for those tags, I can then search. Let's say if I want to find all my people who are in Bizmentum, and I don't have them all in yet, but so if I search contacts by keyword Bizmentum, I should find anybody I've done tags with for Bizmentum. Where's my tags? I have to find tags. Okay.
So this may be a silly question, but are tags similar to like hashtags?
Similar, yeah. So when you're working with people, when you work with contacts, okay, you want to be able to do different things with them. So one example is you might do what are called segments, okay? And Nimble does both segments and tags. So I could segment everybody in this group who had not yet signed up for Bizmentum or something. So I could find all my people who have not signed up for Bizmentum, or I can find all of my clients who are currently part of my coaching program, and I could send just all them a message about, oh, thank you for being a member of my coaching program. Here's $75 off your next package. So I can encourage them to buy ahead. So it's a great way to do it. Tags let you pull people from all across different segments. So you see, for example, I've got here content writer. So if I click on content writer, I might find one. Oh, there, look, there's Misty. so if I click on Bizmentum, I should find and untick content writer, click on Bizmentum, and then I find the people so far I've pulled into from Bizmentum into here to get deeper information on. So this is my example of a way to, and this works with something like Bizmentum and LinkedIn. So the problem with LinkedIn, okay, is let's go to my network. Let's just find somebody here. Let's say I want to do business with, I don't know. Okay, I'll accept Cynthia. Cynthia's a connection. Wow, how cool is that? So I go to message. Okay, here's the messages. If I want to click on Cynthia to find out more about her here, then it gives me contact info, and I've got her contact info, but there's no way here to schedule a follow-up. Like I can send her a message, but I can't schedule a follow-up. And if I find out more information, where do I take notes? I can't, right? So it's really kind of a useless system from that perspective. I can't take notes. I can't do anything with this. Well, if I go back to Nimble and I go to say Alex, well, with Alex, I've got all my past activities here, every message we've done. And these messages can be emails or Twitter or notes. I can click on notes here. So if I want to add a note, I can just add a note there as well. I can tag him with different things. So he is a member of Bizmentum and he does podcasting. So I can easily find people who do this. I've got links right here to his profiles. I can check and see if those are his profiles, and that will add the information. Pulled in his LinkedIn profile picture and profile information that I can see. I can see his social signals. I can go to his social profile and find out what he's posted. So there's just tons of information that I can add here that I can connect with. So this is where the work gets done. I hate to say it. I really wish Bizmentum and LinkedIn had features where I could do all this within there, but they're not going to get there anytime soon. I've suggested that, by the way, for the platform that I've built, Bizmentum. I've suggested for their roadmap that we add some basic CRM, at least to schedule a follow-up, and the ability to take notes would be the two things that would be key. So yeah, this is how I work with contacts. And again, this is a new tool for me. I'm just working this one out. Here's Trevor, for example. He's been a sponsor. I'm going to follow up on him October 6th with a partnership idea. So there's an example of where these people never slip through the cracks, which is great. You can also add them to a sales pipeline if you want. And sales pipelines where you kind of say, okay, I've got him in my partner pipeline of bringing him through certain processes to get to the steps. What else? So anyways, it's just that these are the kinds of things. If I click on today, it will show me all the people I've scheduled to follow up with today. So you can see if I don't have anybody scheduled right yet to follow up with till the 24th, I've got some people to follow up with. So. And this will also show events, people I should stay in touch with. So you can say there's people you want to stay in touch with automatically. You can set them as automatically every quarter. I want to keep in touch with so-and-so. So social profiles, really important. It's what makes people want to connect with you. You can see this is the Cynthia Toe who just connected with me. Her header is just it shows nothing. Okay. She's a business development manager at Novella Wealth. That doesn't tell me a lot. Chances are, I think she's just a financial planner. She does financial advice for people, but there's nothing here to connect me with her. I mean, if I was doing this as a financial planner, I would get my free 5 steps to financial success, or my 7 mistakes that are crippling your wealth portfolio, or should crypto be part of your stock portfolio? She could put together something like this in a few hours that would give something that would make me more want to connect with her. And yet she hasn't done that. She's treating this as a resume. You can see her main focus here is these experience. She's done almost no activity on LinkedIn. She's just using this for experience. So. And you can see the difference there between them and people who are more professional. Anybody else want to serve theirs up?
Oh, you say you want to look one of ours up?
Sure.
Sure, look mine up.
What's your last name, Mystique? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Houghton, yep.
Got you. The singing lifestyle. I like that. So your header at least does show your, it's writing related. So it's got some benefit, but you could put a call to action right in the header. And I haven't done that for mine yet. And that's something I'm looking at doing too. So I'm inspired after having to do the research to create this. So talk about, it's good. You have some of your talk about things that are good there. You've got the singing lifestyle, but it doesn't really say what the singing lifestyle is about there, or freelance writer. I think we could put like a little call to action, something if you give away for free right in here, like a free mini course or a free guide or a free checklist, or like a free checklist to, is your website ready to sell? Something like that could go right in there, which would help. There's a highlight group here, which doesn't really step into the spotlight. Some of your activity is okay. So your information here is good. Risk taking and self-improvement, that puts a bit in there. Goofy, funny side to me. So yeah, there's some stuff there that makes it a bit personal, but I think there could certainly be more here to connect with people. And credibility, if you can use an example of something you've done that has worked really well for a client, or again, the credibility elements. The credibility elements are really key here. Testimonials are one thing. Something you've done, something you've written that's gotten really popular. I could show a video, my client video, there's 150,000 views. I could show that. Like I did one video for the client using these techniques. Here's the client video. Here's the techniques I used. Sign up here to get these techniques for free. So I can turn these into something like that. So that would be a key thing, is give some thought to what's the credibility elements there that are going to show this. A lot of people think your education's your credibility, and education usually gets jammed way down here. So it's not really, and especially it may not apply. Criminal justice and police science doesn't necessarily apply to copywriting.
Right.
But I mean, it's good to have. I mean, the experience is good and interesting, and people may want to connect with you through it, but look how far down it is. So in this case, your experience isn't there. I would say a link to your portfolio somewhere higher up could help, if you could show that. But I really like the idea of something. Do you have something you give away for free or offer people for free?
I am just learning about that right now, about like putting something together for free helps, like as a lead magnet for people, and I haven't done it before.
Now, I will say too, as a copywriter, you could work full time writing copy for lead magnets. Like this is something you really want to explore because this is a field where you do this. So in my own case, I have several lead magnets. So some of my lead magnets. Let's see. Let's go to my site. I have so I've got several on my website. Usually there's a pop-up that comes up. We'll let it come. So I have a free online course, a free course on reducing distractions, and a free course on work-life balance as well that I give people. And I'm currently setting up some other lead magnets as well. And these are just videos I've done. They're about 20-minute videos on both of these that people can sign up for free. Bizmentum is also a lead magnet, because if I invite people to Bizmentum, they're automatically added to my list. Are you using an email list management program?
I've heard of a few of them, but I haven't fully picked one yet.
How about you, Jay? Do you have a lead magnet, or are you using an email list management program?
No, I don't have one. But in what I've learned about lead magnets is that it's ideal to have it be a small piece of your greater package, so that people get a taste for and then want more to come. So then they're more apt to subscribe to either more information or to sign up for a course. So it's not just something that's random that you can put together quickly to give away for free, but it's a small piece of something larger that you intend to sell or offer.
And that's a really good approach. That makes sense. So for example, my Reducing Distractions online course fits perfectly in with my time management step-by-step paid online course and with my one-on-one coaching I do. So it leads to your other services. So this is a really great idea. And so this is for Misty, for example, you could offer a free website copy checklist or something that people could use, and then you could recommend, of course, that they hire you to write it. But when you can have them check 5 elements of their website to see if it's strong enough, you know, or something like that. Jay, what is it that you do?
Audio video production.
Okay, so there's an example of, so what would you see as a lead magnet for you?
That's what I'm struggling with.
You could give away a free audio checklist. You could give away a buyer's guide to audio, or how to choose audio equipment. And then of course that still leads into you possibly doing the audio for them. You could have 5 audio tips and tricks used by professionals. Like, so any of these kinds of things could work. You could have a beginner's audio 101 online course that people would sign up for. And if you go to Bizmentum again, you'll see that Bizmentum has all these courses here, of which there's tons of free ones here, right? Like there's a free course on reducing distractions, my work-life balance course. So these are all free courses that I bring in people into, and then they hopefully might upgrade to my premium courses that I have here, or my one-on-one coaching, or my, you know, the other things that I do. So all of these connect again. So that would be, you know, some things you could do. I'm going to show you an example here. This is a tool called Mailerlite, and I'll send you guys the link in chat here. And also send my lunch club invite as well for you, Jay.
Great.
So Mailerlite is an email list management program, and what it does is it gives you forms you can put on your website where people can sign up for free for things, or where people can subscribe, and also you can send out an email to people. So currently in this particular plan, I've got 800 and some subscribers. Oops. So when I send out an email campaign, it shows me here how many emails I sent out, how many people opened them, and how many people clicked on something in it. So it gives me really good information. So this is a email I'd sent out called Time Management Myths That Cripple Your Productivity. Went out to 853 recipients, of which 15% opened and clicked on something. When it comes time for I can copy any of these campaigns, or I can go and create a brand new campaign to go to people. When I create a new campaign, you give it a name, you give it a subject line, who it's from, then we go to the content. And then you can use a drag and drop editor, which makes it really easy, or you can use a template gallery if you've done that. And the drag and drop editor, again, it's like the Adobe Spark is for things. So it gives you this template where you can start editing, edit your header. So you can just change that, put a URL. You can edit your pictures here. You can edit any of these just by clicking on them. And also if you click, you can also drag and drop any of those components in here as well. So I click cancel and I say, well, what would I want in here? You can drag a logo over, you can drag a logo plus content, subtitles, links, images, videos, highlight, like you can just choose these templates and drag them into the system here. So really easy to do. And then you can just schedule it to go out whenever you want. You can also set up a automatic series to go out to people. So if you wanted to send your course out one chapter at a time for 5 weeks, you could do that. Another thing that you can do is it gives you these forms area, which will automatically give you forms that you can add to your website for people to sign up for. So here's an example of one I created, which is for downloading ground rules for meetings. I click on preview. So this is a form I can add to my website that people can, download this Captain Times meeting ground rules poster. You can also create entire pages, landing pages. And this is one, again, that would work good for both of you. So here's an example of a last webinar I did. If we click on preview, and again, this is a template. I just started with the template and drag and drop and edit it and was able to create this.
Is this through an autoresponder like airmail I saw, or?
Yeah, so it's called Mailerlite. It has an autoresponder built in. It's an email list management system is probably what I would call it best. Autoresponders are this as well, but autoresponder is only one function of everything that it does.
Right.
So here's the webinar I did. So people can click here to reserve a seat. What will they learn about the presenter? Reserve your seat, and then it has the spot down there. So it makes it really easy for them to reserve. So webinars are another great way to do this. So, and what I love about this tool is it's very affordable. MailChimp is one I would avoid at all costs because it's very expensive and it needs workarounds. It's just a really bad system the way they've designed it. And this is a very clean one. Automation, you can have an automated series of emails going and things like that. So I've probably gone over time that I'm supposed to go, but I just wanted to show you that, you know, from a magnet point of view. So yes, I do recommend your profiles work like Amy's, and you know, in order to have those call to actions, you know, like Tony Robbins, right on them, which you can create using Adobe Spark. You can have the actual sign up form created using a tool such as Mailerlite in it, and that would help you be able to easily create those kinds of lead magnets. And I strongly recommend, and especially for you, Misty, because lead magnets in your field, you should be writing lead magnets for other people. You should be creating and helping them set this up. It's a great service for you to offer. So,
Well, thank you for all of this. I mean, there's been a lot of good stuff in here.
good. Well, tell other people, you know, reply to the meeting or post in the Bizmentum success stories about the value of this today, because I've had low turnout to these, and one or two I didn't even run because I got there and nobody showed up for the meeting, right? So it's really, and I really want to give great value and stuff, but people need to know that these are worth coming to. So,
Yeah, this has been great. And you recorded it, so is this available? Is it for personal use, or is it for, I mean, your personal use, or will this be available for others to watch after the fact?
So I recorded it. Now the recording feature is supposed to be a prime feature of Bizmentum. So Bizmentum has both a free version and a paid version. And when you guys signed up, you might have been sort of showing up more at the original time before we had the paid sections.
Yeah.
So the webinar recordings are part of the paid version. So,
okay.
So if we go to the new landing page for Bizmentum that I've created, and I had feedback from Misty here, thanks. So the paid members get all the free memberships, plus they can post their own events in our event calendar, special offers for our members. They get to be a member of our brainstorming group. They get a member spotlight interview. They get 1 hour of time management coaching from me, which I normally charge $125 for. They get access to the time management step-by-step course, a $97 value. Access to the virtual assistant mentorship program, $97 value. Access to my effective meetings, inbox zero course, digital marketing basics course, the webinar recordings, a video website analysis of their website, profile analysis recommendations, and an SEO audit of their website. So
You are a role model.
What's that?
You're a role model.
Working on it. So I want to provide great value for this. I really do. And of course I value both the free members and the pro members as well. But, you know, I'm really working hard to make sure that the value proposition here is crazy amazing, and people would have to be silly not to take it. So.
Well, it's a good thing you're an expert in time management, because with all the searching through the various social media platforms and creating content and writing emails and campaigns.
Right? It's like, how does he do it?
I cheat.
Oh.
I cheat. I have minions. So you may have noticed a few people recently who are starting to get involved here, and let's see. I'll call up the Thompson sisters. Oops. So you see a few people lately that have titles after their last name. Ghislaine and Genevieve are both part of the Bizmentum team. So these are two virtual assistants that are working with me to help me provide content. They're doing research for me and things like that. I've also got, let's see if I can find all the BZM team members. That might work. Yeah, so here we got a couple of community leaders who are volunteering to take over a part of a community and help with some things. Then we've got Ghislaine, we've got Carol, we've got Genevieve, we've got, let's go just the members, that'll help. Okay, Ghislaine, Carol, and Genevieve are all members of the Bizmentum team. So they're all virtual assistants who are reaching out, helping some of the new members get their skills into the skills area, reaching out, helping get more people into the one-on-one meeting area. Jay, did you subscribe to the one-on-one area?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, so there's a couple programs we're running right now. Let's see if I can find that. So there's a topic area here where people can post if they are willing to meet with one-on-one meetups with other members. And so I've got a template here you follow, which is, like people skills you'd like to meet topics. So the idea is we'll do here what Lunch Club's doing, except we're doing it just amongst our own members. And so you can book one-on-one meetings with people. And so if you follow that and then just post in this area, it will be, you'll be on our list. And I'm going to be publishing a list here of all the people who are open, kind of like being an open networker on LinkedIn, which I noticed you had mentioned you were, Misty. So that's the idea, is that's what we're doing here, is trying to get something along the lines of a Lunch Club meeting thing happening where people can connect one-on-one with people. I'm also doing a meetup this week on Thursday, I believe, which is a member chat that we're doing at 10 a.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday. So same as this, you just show up here, and that's just really a meet and greet and build relationships with each other and that kind of thing. So
great.
And if you guys have any suggestions for Bizmentum, throw them at me. You can connect them to live chat or post them in the Bizmentum tips and tricks areas. Like, could we do this? And happy to answer, brainstorm ideas and questions and things like that, as well. Because I really want this group to work for everybody, and I want it to be your main source. If you are ever looking for anything, come here first and post in the looking for area, say, I need a graphic designer, or I need a tool that will do X, and this is the spot, post it here, and we'll jump in, and all of our members here will contribute and help you find them. So